Yeah, we're absolutely ready to go today. Really excited to get back out there and get back into the racing. It's been 5 days since the last race, and it wasn't a great start for us. But it's nice to have a bit of breathing space to kind of regroup and get back into the processes that we got in place and make sure that we're fully ready to go. And everyone's absolutely raring to go today and excited about the prospects.
Rossa sailed and you're faultless couple of races last weekend. What have you improved this week, and how can you respond to that Italian form?
I think, what was fascinating about last weekend, they obviously didn't put a foot wrong, but we were right on their heels, so the pressure's certainly going to be on them, knowing if they make any mistakes, we're ready to pounce on them. So we're just going to try and keep the pressure on them, try and kind of get them into a situation where they have to make some difficult decisions and potentially make some mistakes and kind of make a real race and we're truly ready to kind of take it to them.
Your skipper Ben Ainsley is notorious for taking on a sporty fight when it matters most. How is he approaching this must-win week?
I think Ben's fully excited for the challenge we've got ahead of us. We've been living in that kind of world for a few months now. We've been right up against it from really the minute we set foot here in New Zealand. A little bit on the back foot. I don't think there's any hiding from that. And we've come through a lot of challenges, and this is another one that's right here in front of us. And he's fully excited. We're all fully excited about the prospect of kind of taking on the Italians and turning this around.
You talk about momentum, and I think that's the biggest thing that we need to just hold on to. There's been a bit of an interruption with racing with this week and the usual, let's say, AC politics that go on. It's great to get the boats back out on the water and racing. Auckland's under level 2, but we have protocols in place that we can still go racing. So the guys are all ready to go. We've been ready since Wednesday, really. And I think the biggest part is still take each race as its own. It's still a long way to go. 3 points can be 3 very long points. I'm sure Ben and the talent they have in his team, we're going to come out charging today, so we just need to be able to respond and keep that momentum going.
Ben Ainsley is always up for a fight, and he's running out of time. It has to do something special. What are you expecting from your opponents?
One of the great things is having someone like Philippe, and also ultimately, with Jimmy. We've sailed with Ben on board. San Francisco, one clear example. So it's definitely been a case of, our recon also watching what they're doing in the pre-starts and checking out their playbook. So we have a response. I think the biggest thing is knowing that they are going to be probably aggressive. They have commented that, like it was back in the displacement boats, that first cross is important, especially with 2 boats that are very similarly matched in speed. You can't always rely on the boat in front making a mistake. So you really need to put on that pressure in the pre-start and get ahead early.
It looks like quite tricky weather conditions today. How much is the team liking what they're seeing?
Miguel and our weather team and Vasco and so on, we're happy to race in all conditions ultimately. We know that today it's going to be a transitional period, right at that 4 o'clock race 1 start. So definitely it's going to be, we'll see whether there's going to be a postponement. And as we know, we saw it with Corsi and American Magic as well and so on, that yes, people from the outside generally think we're at a good advantage in the light air. But we had situations with both American Magic and actually Team New Zealand in the Christmas series where we were a long way ahead, but then we run out of pressure and the boat that was behind can just take up an 800-meter deficit and pass it and then go on to win the race. So obviously we don't want it to be right down there, but we feel comfortable. We've been working a lot this week in the lighter conditions because we've had them. So yeah, we'll just see what INEOS Team UK have done, and and we're just excited to go yachting.
Just give us a brief insight into the feeling in the team this morning. What's it like over at the Rossa Bay?
There's a different sense of solidarity. The team has been every morning unsure whether a call will be made, whether we can race last minute. The days have been changing, so today, definitely waking up knowing that it's going to be a race day is actually a more comfortable feeling to get into. So the guys are just happy, just making sure they're double checking all their areas, because each point counts, and there's so many things that you don't see outside that can change the result. And it's not only the sailing team that have let's say, that pressure on the shoulders of race. It can be the shore team with systems that they've checked and all that kind of stuff. So one of the cool things about the America's Cup is that it is a whole team behind it, and not just 11 guys on board. So everyone is very excited, and yeah, I mean, so am I.